Okay, mic check 1 2. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everyone? We are now live. Let me know if you could hear me in the chat. Okay, hold on for 1 second. All right, give me about 1 minute. It's like no matter how much you try to prepare, there's always going to be like a little hiccup. All right, everybody, let me know if I'm live. Well, if you could hear me right now, just let me know while I get things set up. All right. So let me see something real quick. Just do a mic check. Can anybody hear me? Just do a mic check. All right, cool. All right. Shout outs to the 6IIXBOSS for starting the raid. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. Whether if you are on the YouTube side and on the Twitch gang side as well too. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'm going to give the shouts in just a second. I just want to make sure that we are good. Okay. And hope you like this layout that I created. And let me see something else too. I'm gonna play something. Oh, you know what? I forgot the instrumental. So right now we're gonna have a live talk, right, with Twitch streamer, the 6IIXBOSS, as known as Priscilla. And so right now she's getting everything set up. She's going to be joining us in a few minutes, which this is good because we're waiting for more people to join in. So while we're getting things ready, give me about like a second real quick. I realized there's something I forgot to do. Shout outs to DJ Eddie King for his instrumentals, his nice, wonderful beats. I'm trying to see if I could download his beat and so I could upload it. Because the man be making some cool beats. So, hold on. Okay. It's always technical issues with these computers, man. But anyways, so I am your host, M3 from Knowledge and Relationships. And I'm pretty much excited because, I think this will be like, I feel like this is going to be our second Twitch streamer that we're going to interview. And, Priscilla, like, she's definitely one of those, like, chill type of streamers. Like, she's definitely cool, down to earth. I've been on, I've been in chat, like, to our live streams before. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I actually came up on the panel because I feel like I came on the panel one time. And this was like a long time ago, I believe. But we're going to be talking more about that soon. All right. So we got 7 people in the Twitch gang side. And then we also have 4 on the Knowledge and Relationship side. So salute to everybody. Yes, thank you for tuning in. Let me make sure I get some instrumentals going on. Let me see. What will be a good beat? What do you think about this one? You know what? I like this one better. I think this will be a good one. All right. So we're still waiting for Priscilla to join in. She'll be there like in 2 minutes, she says. All right, so let me go ahead and get the shout outs ready, okay? So one, shout outs to Marion. So hopefully I am pronouncing your name right, but definitely big salutes to you. Thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. Whether if you're on the YouTube and on the Twitch side, okay? Let's see. Co-Q-Licious. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, but thank you for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. All right. If you're still on the Twitch site, please give us a good follow because, even though we're trying to reach up to 1,000 and beyond subscribers on the YouTube site, which is our priority, but we also welcome the Twitch gang into the building as well too. So every follow also counts, because you can also help us to get Twitch affiliate, which we're going to be talking about more about that, like, later on, because I'm not really much of a big Twitch person, but I got something in store for you guys. Okay, so don't let me forget. All right, let's see. All right, 6IIXBOSS says she will be there in 2 minutes, but remember, she's gonna come ready and she's gonna boss up. Oh, come on, StreamYard. We have 100 watts in the building that love those that love him. What's up, 100 watts? Salutes to you, my brother. You get the air horn too. Okay, according to our WiseBot, right? Because WiseBot helps work for us, like on Twitch, and then we also have another bot that's called what's the other bot called? I'm trying to think the name of it. It's called but anyways, WiseBot is in the building. So WiseBot is saying that, okay, we have new followers. Okay, Nisha. Nisha. Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. Thank you for the follow. We definitely appreciate you. All right. Showing much love and the peace sign. All right. Before we get started, right? I gotta give definitely like a good, kudos to everybody that's tuning in to support the 6IIXBOSS, because I know you guys came to really see her, but it's also much appreciated because you guys are also here too. So one thing I will ask for you guys, right? Before I bring our special guest up, if you guys have a YouTube channel, if you have a YouTube account, please just, go into your YouTube channel and subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. If you guys could do that for us, that would be very awesome. I think I could also put the link into the Twitch chat. Let me see if this is going to work. All right. So yes, I put the link in there. And then also, WiseBot is telling me that Miss Coalicious has also, followed too. So thank you for following Knowledge and Relationships on the Twitch side. Either way, everything is much appreciated, okay? Whether if you follow or you subscribe on our channel, to the Twitch side, the YouTube side, I'm definitely grateful for your help, okay? So, but if you guys want to subscribe, this is the link to subscribe, okay? Now, without further ado, okay, let me go ahead and bring our special guest from the Twitch side, okay? She's one of the best. She talks about a lot of sexual topics, you know what I mean? That get you into sexual seduction. But anyways, I'll let her speak for herself. So let me go ahead and welcome Miss Priscilla, aka the 6IIXBOSS, in the building.
I'm back.
Yes.
You can hear me okay?
Yes, perfect.
All right, good, cool.
Yeah. So
thanks for having me again.
hey, no problem. I'm definitely glad that you're here. One, thank you for allowing me to give you this interview, and thank you for coming up to support Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube and the Twitch side too. So we gotta open up both platforms so we could join as a family together. Yeah. So
that's why I love Twitch, because Twitch there's so many different people on one platform that are trying to do so many different things. It's so diverse. And we've been able to create so many different communities and families within Twitch. So I think it's just a really cool thing, because there's so many commonalities amongst a lot of us, and so many relationships that were formed that you just never really would have thought would have happened through online. And Twitch is a really cool place for that. So I love my Twitch community. Big up the Boss the Fuck Up crew, the After Dark crew. Love you guys.
Yes. Shout outs to everybody. And also shout outs to one of our loyal supporters, Wally, in the building. So definitely salutes to you as well. And thank you always for tuning in and give us support too. All right, 6IIXBOSS, right? Well, actually, do you
Priscilla, you
prefer?
can say Priscilla. It's
Okay,
fine.
okay. Because everybody have like a persona, right?
No, because before my name was Priscilla in the six
Uh-huh.
forever, and I just changed it to Six Boss like a week ago. So
Okay.
most people are used to calling me Priscilla on Twitch, and now they're like, I'm not sure if I should. So people are being confused now, but it's okay. You can go ahead.
Well, because sometimes like people they have the alter egos and like, hey, like, look, when you're on Twitch, you call me the Boss Six or Six Boss, right? When
Yeah.
we're out in the public, you call me Miss Priscilla. You know how it is, though. So I just want to make sure that we'll give you respect when respect is due.
I'll take that any day.
Yeah. And then shout outs to Inni Kenya Nina. So thank you for tuning in. Man, we got so many people showing you love already. Rosa Max, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Okay. Also, all day, every day. That's what I'm talking about, right? So listen, everybody. Okay. One more time before we begin our conversation. Everybody, like on the Twitch side, please feel free to follow Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. And no, sorry, it's on YouTube. I'm so used to saying on Twitch. And then if you can, please also subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. At the time of the last time I checked, I think we was like 20 more subscribers away to get into monetization. So with your help, you can make it happen if you have a YouTube account. But a follow is also appreciated. I'm not picky. All right.
You just boss the fuck up. You're supposed to promote. Click on the damn channel and add them up, guys. Boss the fuck up crew. Make sure you follow Knowledge and Relationships on Twitch and on YouTube. Go do the things.
Yeah, you heard what she said. Like, the boss is talking right now. So yes. All right. So so Priscilla, right? So, this is not just like a regular type of interview where we're just gonna we're gonna ask you like questions about like some personals and mostly like business and streaming like type of questions.
Cool.
But also, feel free to feel like relaxed at any time because we're just gonna have like a simple conversation.
Like we always do.
Good, wholesome and old fashioned,
Let's do it.
All right. And the Twitch people, this is the link that also directs you to like YouTube if you want to subscribe. But yes, and they say 18 away. So yes, thank you everybody for bossing up, right?
Thank you guys.
Now feel free, like to like you could say if you want to curse, if you want to talk about whatever.
Definitely
you,
won't.
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like we're not trying to hold you back. Okay. Now let's start off like just like for the sake of our viewers, right? The getting to know you type of questions, okay? And then we'll get down.
Weird for me to be on the other side because on my show I was just telling the people I ask all the questions and I have full control of the show. So this is like really different for me to be on the other side.
Hey, that's normal. If you're used to like kind of leading or taking charge, sometimes it's good to kind of sit back and take a back seat.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm just curious as to what you have to ask. That's all.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and ask like the most tough questions. All right. So the first tough question that people always claim. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, that's a lot. All right. Well, I don't know. Where does somebody start to talk about themselves? I'm Priscilla. Let's start with that. I live in Toronto. I'm Canadian. So if you guys didn't know, I'm from Canada. Big up the whole crew. Odell, big up yourself. That's my Yep. I don't know. I do work for myself, so I've been an entrepreneur for about 12 years. I started off puppy training and dog sitting, and I still do that up till today. I breed Bengal cats, and I'm very close to opening my boudoir. So that's my next business that I'm opening very, very soon. But very business oriented. What else about myself? Personal, I guess, personal stuff off the top of my head. I love art. Music is my life. I love music. I grew up with music since I was a little girl. I played I played the piano since I was 5. I'm
Oh,
not very
nice.
good at it now. I would have to definitely refresh. I played the baritone sax and the clarinet. Uh,
Mhm.
I don't know. Music for me, that's why Twitch is so big for me. Music is a part of my life day in, day out. Whether it's something meaningful, whether it's just to change my mood, whether it's being in Twitch to be with my family, it's just been a part of my life since I was little. It's never, ever, ever going to go away. So, yeah, I don't know. I love art. I'm into graffiti, all of that kind of stuff. I don't
All
know.
right. No, that's something. See, that's something I never knew about you though, right?
It's
So I
been a
didn't
long
know that.
time since someone's been like, "So tell me about yourself." That's always been me asking the question. Like I said,
It almost feels like kind of like one of those like first dates, like
I was gonna say it reminds me of when I was in the dating scene, and you're
yeah,
like, "So, what's good? Like, what do you like?" I don't know. I didn't even know where to start because I only recently started dating, and it was weird because online dating wasn't really a thing for me
yeah,
before. It was very different. And yeah, that it kind of reminded me of that because like it was like almost every conversation I would have with a dude online
hmm
would be like, okay,
yeah.
well, like, what are you into? What do you like? And you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? I don't know.
Okay, okay. Let's dive into that, right? Into the date part, because I got down on my list of questions so that just in case. But
Just in case.
um,
All right, I'm excited.
yes, yes. See, I was gonna say that for later, but since we're talking about this, let me find it real quick because okay. So at the time, like when you were single, what were your experience using like like dating apps? Like or did you not use dating apps? Like how?
I did.
Okay.
So I don't even know where to start. Dating apps aren't really for me. So okay, I guess I'll get into it a little bit. So I was married for about 12 years. I got married
Okay.
when I was 22, and it was
Mhm.
because I got pregnant. Long story short, and we stayed together just because we wanted to be together for the kid. We
Mhm.
ended up separating, getting a divorce because we just realized like nothing bad happened, but we just realized that we weren't supposed to be together. We could still be a family, just I talked about it on one of your streams one time too, like that whole situation. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I took a little bit of time. The next relationship I was in after that was an abusive relationship, and I was in that for 2 years. So when I came out of that, that's why I was laughing. It was very different for me. I didn't really want to date, but I wanted to have sex. So
Yeah.
on the dating apps, I didn't want to be in a relationship. So that's what I was using the dating apps for. But it was
Mhm.
difficult to use because it wasn't my thing. I just thought it was weird how people would just like swipe on your picture, click on your picture, and be like, yo, you down to fuck? And it was like the weirdest. I don't know. It was like, yo, one of the apps I opened, I'm not gonna lie, even before I loaded my pictures onto the fucking thing, because I guess it like opened the profile before I loaded the pictures. There
Mhm.
was already like 60 something messages in my inbox. And I was like, it's
Wow.
like that for a girl. It was overwhelming and I didn't like it. I ended up deleting everything. I had a few of them where like I wanted to make sure I deleted the profile before I deleted the actual app. So I kept them on my phone and I would just get notifications sometimes. But I ended up just deleting them when I met my boy. Like soon as I met my boyfriend and I knew I liked him, even if I didn't know if it was gonna go anywhere, I deleted all of the apps right away.
Mm. Okay.
It was
So
different.
yeah.
It was my thing.
Okay. Okay. Wow. All right. So this leads to like another question, right? Because you mentioned that like okay, you was kind of like pretty much like down to fuck, right? Like at some of the dating apps that you use, right?
Mhm.
But when when others are telling you like, hey, like like let's fuck or whatever, or I'm like when the guys are saying that, it seemed like it's like a turnoff, right?
Nah. So here's it was the thing with me was like after I came out of that relationship, that was March 2020, 2020, 2021. I don't even remember. Whenever that was, I only did that for like 2 months and then I stopped. Then I was like, I don't want this anymore. So it was because of the relationship I was in before, I wasn't having sex for a long time already. Like we had sex, and I would say maybe about 5-6 months at that point already in that fucked up relationship. So by the time all of that shit was done, I just honestly, I just really just wanted to have sex. So that was all I was looking for. So at that time, within those first 2 months, I slept with one guy. But at that time, that was it. It was just, I didn't want to know anything about him. I didn't want to date him, like nothing. It was strictly for that. Once I got that, I was good. I started talking to somebody after for like a little bit. It wasn't anything serious. We knew it wasn't going to go anywhere, but that ended quickly. And then I took a little break. And then I said after that, so earlier this year, I was kind of like, yo, I just want to focus on me. I just want to do my businesses. I want to just stay. I was happy and I was peaceful for the first time in my life in a long time when I moved to this house, which was in March, I believe.
Okay.
But since I did that, it was just a whole different vibe. So when this guy came along that I'm now seeing, when we first met, we had already known each other for like a while. We just never told each other that we liked each other at that point.
Oh, for a while. So, like, was it from the dating apps or was it from?
No, I'm not gonna say where.
Oh, no worries.
I'm just saying we know each other for a long time, and but we just known each other as friends and like respected each other as friends. Never really. I was always into him, but I didn't want to say anything because it wasn't ever I didn't even know if it was like a real thing inside of me. I just knew I thought he was good looking and I liked his vibe. That was it. It wasn't anything deep. But apparently he had felt the same way for a while too. And then when we finally did, like, this happened. I don't even know how this happened. Just like one day, I don't even know what happened. We just like clicked and it never went away. It was a really, really, really different fucking energy that we both felt. And we knew that we didn't know what the fuck it was. We didn't know what we wanted out of it. We just knew that we had to experience it. And so we did, and we this was this relationship was the fucking coolest relationship. It still is the coolest relationship. But from the beginning, I think the thing is that after I came out of the abusive relationship, I made sure I did what I needed to do for myself mentally, because there was a lot of mental and physical that came with dealing with that after, not even just in it. And so I went for relationship coaching. I hired a relationship coach and I did that for 12 weeks. I also got 12 free weeks of counseling through victim services. So they were able to provide that to me. So it was like, I took full advantage of making sure that I wasn't going to stay stuck in that fucking mess. And I was going to come out of it better. I knew that I needed to do that so that when that happened, my whole perspective on love and relationships itself changed. And so when we always talk about it, we're like, yo, why don't we ever check each other before? And he always reminds me, like, it wasn't supposed to happen then. It was supposed to happen exactly when it happened. And I was like, you know what, you're absolutely right. And so when going back to when I first met him and our energies just like clicked and we both felt the exact same thing and we couldn't explain it, it made we literally sat down one day and had like a 6-hour conversation with each other, if not longer. And we laid out everything on the table, everything, good, bad, and the ugly, about what our past was, about what our current life situations are, and what we're looking for in a relationship in the future, what our expectations are, what we need from our partner, all of that stuff. Like, yo, I deal with this, like for something as simple as I deal with anxiety on a regular basis. Is that something that you can handle? Because that's unpredictable. I come with trauma and triggers from this past relationship. And he fully well knows because he knew my whole situation. So it wasn't like it was a surprise. It wasn't something that needed to be laid out, but it still needed to be talked about because for me, I will probably have many triggers, and I have with him already that I didn't know that I was going to have. And that's what a trigger is like some shit will happen, remind you of some shit that happened in the past, and then you freak out. You don't know what's going to happen or what to do in that moment or how to react or whatever the case is. But like I said, it's happened with him. And I need to know that he's going to be able to deal with that. And same thing for me. So we laid out everything on the table. And after that conversation, we were like, well, then let's do this. Right. So every day for us, I think from that point, the reason this relationship is so cool is because we literally choose each other every day. And I'm not going to lie, it's not an easy relationship. Number one, it's long distance. Number two, there's a lot of things happening with the both of us. But at the end of the day, what taught me what love actually is, and I knew I loved this man before this actually happened, but we went through some shit together. And when that shit went down, it was my first thing was always to leave. Like if shit goes down, I just leave. I don't want to deal with it. It's the end of it. It's not worth it for me. I've already gone through bullshit in the past. I'm not doing it again. But the difference with him is that I see a fight. Like for him, the answer isn't to leave and walk away or to give up on each other. We're not, we say to each other often, we're not doing whatever the fuck we used to do in past relationships. We're better now. So when it comes to communicating with each other, working shit out, we gonna do it different because we're not doing what we used to do before. And really and truly the situation that happened, I don't think that we should be together at this point. Like logically, like in society's eyes, what happened between the two of us, I don't think that we should be together. But at the end of the day, I chose and he chose to stay and fucking work it out. And like it was the decision that both of us understood that we both hurt each other. And in that moment, it wasn't us, it was the situation. And are we willing to keep going with each other? Like, because at the end of the day, my love didn't die for him because of that. I felt hurt and I felt disrespected, and I'm sure he did too. But it wasn't enough to say that I don't fucking love him, or that I think that now, I think after that situation, what ended up happening, and I recently learned this, and this is like growth for real, was that's when you know. When love tests you like that, I think that that's really what love is how tough or how strong can you be together to hold each other up in situations that are fucked up, whether it's the other person hurts you or you guys are going through something together, facing some serious life situation or whatever the case is. And it's in those moments, are you going to choose to keep going or are you going to choose to just give up? If it was a situation, like there's certain things that I won't tolerate. If he ever laid his hands on me, if he cheated on me, like those kind of things, those are not tolerable. Those are not things where I'm like, oh, I love you, so let me just fucking work this shit out. I'm not a dumb bitch. But at the end of the day, there are certain things that will happen between you and your partner. And one person, if not both, will be hurt often in a relationship. But it's in those moments where you need to prove to each other how fucking strong your love is for each other, how deep your love is, because it's easy to stay together in the happy moments and when everything is good. Fucking easy for anybody.
Yeah.
But it's never easy to stay when you feel like you want to walk away. You know you shouldn't, but you want to because it's the easy choice. But I've learned now, even through the hard times and when I stay, not only am I going to grow, but we're going to become better as a couple for our future. We need to be better now so that we can have the future that we want. So if we don't start doing the things that we need to do with each other now, communicating and working shit out properly and not letting the shit however that shit happened, that situation happened, we're not doing that again. How we gonna make sure that doesn't happen again or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? So this relationship is teaching me a lot. It's teaching me patience. Is teaching me understanding, is teaching me that the way that I love is not the way that other people love, and that's okay. And to just accept people for as they are. Let them go through whatever they need to go through in their own way and don't try to change them. Just be there for them. That's what this relationship is teaching. Very, very, very different.
Man, that is a very powerful and yet positive like message that people could listen and carry on into their relationships because look, relationships take like a lot of work, Priscilla.
They do.
And the fact that your man was willing to work things out, that's really like a true sign of like love right there. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, love is like it does require a lot of work into it.
It really was on both sides, and you're right,
Mhm.
because it required him to be willing to move forward and
Yeah.
me to be willing
To
to move
yeah.
forward. And it required a fucking lot of forgiveness in that in
Well,
itself.
yeah.
I think that that was one thing that I learned, that like I forgave him, and I think like, and vice versa, but it was more so on me, my side. I'm not even gonna front, but I forgave him not because I love him, but because I understood where the hurt was coming from. That was the difference. Is like I could take a look deeper at his situation and understand that the words that
Mhm.
came out of his mouth that hurt me
Mhm.
wasn't really him. Like, is he responsible for his own words? Yes, and his actions? Yes. But I can. There's also usually a bigger picture as to why somebody that loves you
Mhm.
is acting out that way, or like saying things that way, or like whatever the case is. You know what I mean? So for me, it wasn't an easy thing to do, because naturally, at the end of the day, you lie to me, you disrespect me. That's the end of the story for me. I'll walk away, and that's what I wanted to do. In that moment, I had told him that I wanted to
Mhm.
walk away, and for him, it was just a that's not an option for us. Like, I
Well,
know that's how
well,
you
I
feel.
got a question to ask you too because um, there's a key word, okay, and I don't know if you're aware of the key word because I know you're saying that a lot, right? Which is good. Um, the key word that I'm listening right is understanding. Now, there's a point I'm going to make up to this, right? But in this question, would it have been different had you guys not took the time to understand each other's backgrounds, like the past relationships, the life, and all that?
Because
Hmm.
if that situation came up when it
Hmm.
did, and we had not had a talk in the beginning, it's funny you said that, because before I even explained that, when we sat down and had that long ass talk, I said, "What are the top two things that you think that you need from me in this relationship?" And I asked, like, I told him the exact same thing from my side. And for both of us, it was pretty much patience and understanding. Those are the two
Okay.
things that we need from each other. And so, yes, it would have been really fucking different if we didn't talk in the beginning, because I wouldn't know where him needing patience and understanding from me comes from, and vice versa.
Hmm.
We wouldn't know those things. So because I already had knowledge on his background and things that hurt him, um, ways to speak to him, like I know him inside and out. At the end of
Yeah.
the That's what made the difference, was because we allowed each other to see the other person so deeply on like a really raw level, because I feel like for the both of us, we don't feel judged by each other,
Okay.
maybe for the first time or ever, like by any other human. He's the only person that I just don't feel judged by at all. Even like with my body, I could be with another man, and like, not gonna lie, I'll feel 100% insecure about everything, especially while we're in the middle of the act. But then with him, I don't worry about, and that's not even a thought in my
Hmm.
mind, of like how he sees my body, how he thinks of, like, none of that doesn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really different. And I think it's just because we're very honest with each other. And don't get me wrong, we could be so fucking honest with each other that we hate each other's guts, because we're so honest with each other. But
Hmm.
that's the thing, is I like that I'm not his yes man and he's not mine. Like, if there's something to say to each other, we gonna say it. If one of us is fucking up, we gonna tell the other one. If one of us is in a mood that we know we shouldn't really be festering those feelings, we gonna tell the other one to get the fuck up out of it. But I don't know, we just have that relationship with each other where I feel like it's not, we're not just lovers. That's 100%, because we were friends long before that happened. And I think for the fact that we took our time, a lot of fucking time, to really get to know each other before we actually slept with each other, made a huge difference. Huge.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Time to me. He says,
Mhm.
we wouldn't be together. Our relationship wouldn't be what it is had we had fucked when we first met. It wouldn't be what it is now. And he's right.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Pause real quick, Priscilla. I gotta give a shout outs to Critically Drinking, okay? So our song is in the building. He
What's
said
up?
he didn't get no notification. Man. What
Yeah, Twitch switching.
Twitch do be switching sometimes. So I don't know why, but it just be like that. But I'm glad that you are here to help support for the 6 boss.
Thank
That's
you.
all boss the fuck up. Damn, Priscilla, like this is deep, right? Because a lot of times, and you've probably seen this a lot on the internet. People usually promote like having sex before, Well,
I
how
do.
should I rephrase it? But yeah, you know what I mean. Like you have your sex time, and
Yes.
then but you're not really getting to know the person. But then it's like you're training because you have social media apps now. You have all these I'm not just saying you personally, but anybody could have all these different mates lined up. And
Yeah.
so what I feel like it teaches us when we're absorbing all that is that it teaches us how and when to run away when relationships just go sour. I'm not talking about something that's drastic, but when something that pops the love bubble, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, let me call it quits, and then swipe left, swipe right, whatever the case is, you know. But you know, the friendship part, I feel like that's what a lot of people are missing, but they keep preaching against it because
Mhm.
because nobody wants to be in this term that's called the friend zone. And so I guess it's like when you're not in the friend zone, it's like they feel like women will open up to men a little bit more, or they'll get more close to their sex as opposed to taking the time to
Mhm.
know the woman. You
Mhm.
know, uh, figuring out the red, the yellow and green flags or whatever. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know what to call the yellow flag, but you know what I mean. So I just think that what you just said definitely was on key on that part. Something that has not really been talked about a long time. And
Mhm.
critically drinking with Arshawn says, yes, the friend zone is cool. Nice sofa, free drinks, right? You know what I mean? And sometimes pizza too. But
Sometimes.
but the thing is, people try to make guys seem like, oh man, you so weak, and you're in the friend zone, and they just shame them so bad that it's like guys get afraid when a woman just want to take her time, and then they paint all these narratives like, oh well, only reason why she wanted to take her time is because she's messing with Tyrone, Pookie, Ray Way. She's messing around with all these other guys, so she don't feel that you're as valued as all the other guys that she decided to sleep with,
Mhm.
you know, and then just paint the picture of the man's mind that, oh, you want to be friends? Oh, you're disrespecting me now. Next. So yeah, relationships, man, it's just so toxic around.
It's true.
All right, man. Now I gotta ask you, right? Now this is about like the Twitch side, okay? Um, and thank you for sharing about like just the relationship life.
No worries.
Um, okay, so I know you're a Twitch streamer, okay?
Yes.
But what made you decide to stream only like for Twitch when there's platforms like YouTube that you could stream? Was YouTube not good enough? Were they too PG-13? You know, you
Uh,
know.
no, and I never talk about this because I don't want people go searching anything. But anyway,
uh,
I started off on YouTube.
oh,
Of like maybe I think it was early 2019, end of 2018, early 2019. And it was like right after I got my divorce. And then I started doing YouTube videos, and I think there's 10 on there. I was like, keep going until you actually get to 10. And I did. And then I didn't like it anymore. Well, this life happened and I just wasn't into it at that time. But I was doing exactly the same thing that I was doing on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. I love the platform. I would have kept going because my ex-husband and my son are both YouTubers. So I was the last one to join. But I stopped. So when I got into that abusive relationship, like it wasn't abusive from the beginning, but when that relationship started, I just kind of stopped. My whole social life stopped. It was just, he was very good at isolating me from the beginning. I didn't even see it. So I didn't really have a social life for a long time. So I wasn't even on Instagram. I was barely posting. I was just posting like stuff for my business.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really I wasn't really talking to nobody, not even friends and stuff. It was just him. So that whole time period, I didn't even know what Twitch was. Like I'd never even heard of Twitch. Then what happened was right when was it? Last year. What are we in right now? 2022. So January 2021, I found out about Twitch because some of the DJs were DJing on Facebook and on Instagram. And then they were like, oh, switch over to Twitch. And I'm like, what the fuck is a Twitch? So then I downloaded the app and there was just one DJ from Instagram that I was watching and following. And then that was it. It was just his room. I guess I was it because I didn't know how it worked really. And I wasn't really into it. I heard that it was for gamers and stuff. So I didn't really, fuck with it too much. I started getting into it. And then when my abusive relationship ended, and I started to feel better. I think it was May last year. Yeah, May last year. I was just like, fuck it. I just need something to like distract me. And so I started a Twitch channel. It was supposed to be about business. We did start off talking about business and money and stuff, and then just got to where it is. I don't know. That's how I ended up starting Twitch, was because I started gaining relationships and trust, and actually felt like I was with people because I was isolated for so long. I wasn't around no human beings. So I just didn't know what it was like to be in a social setting again. And when I felt that from Twitch and I started gaining those like little relationships and stuff and started feeling seen and heard again, then I started streaming. And I was like, well, I'm just going to do this till I feel better. And then now I'm still here.
Okay. Well, when was like the moment, right, that your Twitch channels, like you notice, like, wow, like my Twitch channel is starting to grow. Like people are more and more people are commenting, more and more people are
when I started just so I would have planned episodes about like money and boss the fuck up, and like I was always myself. But when I started turning the camera on and just having like, so I would turn the camera on in like the middle of the night, and because I couldn't sleep. When I started doing that and just being real, like I was like, whoever fucking comes in the room comes in the room. We just go, where it goes, it goes. That was when it was then when I actually started finding myself again too, and it was about that time when me and my boyfriend had actually started to become friends. And so it was just like everything, like I said, I believe in like the universe and energy. Everything happens for a reason. So like during that time, that was when I felt like the boss the fuck up and After Dark really became like raw and real, when I started those type of lives, when I would just turn the camera on and be like, I'm so upset today, or like this fucking shit happened, or like whatever. And like my community would just stay there with me. They'd cry with me. They tell me to let it out. They give me advice, like all of these things. And like we would just sit there, guys and girls both, and just like be there for each other. And that's how the community grew. And I love it. I would never change it for the world. I've thought about coming off of Twitch and like doing other platforms, like just doing a real podcast and launching it on like Spotify, Apple, audio, like all these things, right? And then you know what? I could do that and I could make money off of that. I know I could. I'm not, come on. But at the end of the day, I love my Twitch family. Like there is nothing like it. And I don't make a lot of money on it. Twitch is probably the lowest grossing income stream that I have.
I was going to ask about that too.
It's there's nothing like it, and I could never get rid of it. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, see that shows that you have like the passion, like, you know, for your Twitch family, and I'm gonna give you an air horn for that too.
Twitch family.
So yes, definitely shout outs to all the people that support Priscilla, and then also let me also extend my gratitude for the Twitch family as well too for coming to Knowledge and Relationships and showing support.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people say like YouTube, that's where like the real money is at, I guess. And
YouTube and Twitch are very different because YouTube, well, I'm not sure. I know that you're doing YouTube live now, but it wasn't always like that. You would have to create content, edit it, upload it, get the views to be able to get paid out. And you still have to have X amount of followers before you can even get paid out. That's the thing. Your payouts depend on how many views you get.
Exactly.
Twitch is not like that. Twitch could have 2 people in one room, and that person can make more money in an hour than somebody who has 350 people in their room. Facts.
And how does that work? Because see, that's what I'm trying to understand. Because here's the thing. I was just a way that I could kind of like screen share like a calculator, but YouTube pays the content creator once you get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours. Back then, the requirement was I think 1,000 watch time hours or less, or maybe 2,000, and they.
When I was doing videos, it was way less than that.
And so, when you get paid, you're getting paid like a fraction of a penny. Like it's like 0.0001.
That's what I'm saying. You have a lot of subscribers and a lot of watch time for YouTube to be worth it. On Twitch, you could have 100 followers. And like I said, 2 people show up to your stream consistently, maybe a few more here and there, whatever. And you could still make more money because the thing is that it depends on what those people specifically are donating to you. It doesn't go by views and what. It's not an average. So for example, I could come in your room and be the only person and drop 25 subs. And in one sitting, you just made what, like maybe like $200 or $300 in the subs that I just gave you, as opposed to Mr. whoever over here who has 300 people in his room. And because he's on 7 days a week, people, even though he has 300 people, never mind that, they'd be donating bits and subs every second. They're not going to do that all the time. So he might come on today and walk away with nothing donated at all. You know what I mean? So the bigger part to that is your community. Your community, I don't have a lot of people who come in my room every single day, but when they do come in and they do decide to drop bits or subs, it's number one, not something that I'm expecting at all. Number two, they don't have to do that because it's their hard-earned work. Like they work for that. And number three is just they don't have to. It's not an obligation. It's not something that's expected. So you could stream for a whole year and not make anything. And that's why I'm saying the connections and the relationships that you have in Twitch matter, because you show love, you get love. You show support, you're going to get support. That's what Twitch is about. And the reason why some people's rooms do so well is because they've built a really good relationship and a family with that community themselves, right? And I used to tell people all the time, Twitch, you can't just go live and expect people to come to your room. If you don't yourself go around in people's Twitch rooms and participate in the chat, support the communities, show that you're giving your hours to somebody else's room to support them as well, they're not going to do anything for you. You can't expect that of anybody. And there shouldn't be any expectations on Twitch like that. But for the simple fact that, like, for example, myself, I'm a streamer, yes, but there's a lot of other streamers that I go and I support and I spend hours in their room and they know that. And I support with bits and subs. But they come back to my room and they do the same thing. And like I said, it's not an expectation. It's just because we're family and we want to show the support. We want to support the channel. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who come into Twitch. They do not have the finances to be able to donate bits and subs, and they never will. But they will come and spend time. They're spending time in your room. They're becoming part of the family. And that's you just never know who's gonna pop in your room at any given time and become family.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
very, very different in that sense. I'll give you an example. I know a streamer where he on a regular basis, let's say his average is about like 5 to 10 people, but he gets a hype train every day in a row just because of who his community is and finish them. Well, there's no finishing hype train no more, but that's a different story. But and then the person with 300 people, he could have 300 people, viewers in his room, not get one bit or sub or anybody chatting in the chat. He might be a popular DJ, but he doesn't have a relationship with them. There's a difference.
Yeah. And you're right on that part, because here's the thing, right? I think it's still like a little similar, like to like how like I mean, well, it just anyone like who's like, you know, who have their own platform, whether it's like Twitch or YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're not really showing your support, or not even just like by showing up and making a few comments, but if you're not offering any help, you know, any solutions or whatever to the cause, then it's like, okay, you can't expect for people to give you that same type of energy.
Exactly.
And
if I came to stream and I wasn't offering anything, there would be no reason for people to stick around.
Yeah. And I understand, like it's hard. Like, let's see, I have a small community, but it's definitely all love, and that's the thing, right? You don't have to have. How should I put this? What's the difference between, you know, a person who has 1,000 subs or followers, but yet maybe none of them really show you that genuine love, versus like 10 or 12 people that come in daily or come in like every stream that you host. And it doesn't matter about like whether you donate or not, you know, because by the end of the day, like outside the streaming world, we all have our lives. But if we're able to connect and build as a family, I feel like that's what really matters the most. And I'm really honestly, it's one thing about social media I'm honestly like grateful for, because before getting into the you know, just the stream life, I would say, you know, like, you know, life was like, you know, it was just normal, you know, average, I would say.
Yeah.
Like you go to, well, especially before 2020, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you go out, you party, you know, you come home, that's it. You know, or you do whatever it is, right? But the thing is, like, people in society, like in public, you know, it's, how should I say this? It's really hard to really connect to somebody like in a matter of a few seconds, because everyone's all walled in and closed off. You know what I mean?
So I think that was the difference with Twitch too, was because during the pandemic, we all became so close. Like there were so many people who just needed to be in Twitch for whatever reason, and the streamers needed it. And then when things started to open up and we actually got to meet each other in real life, it made a difference, right? So now you have people who only knew each other online. All of a sudden there's these meetups, Twitch meetups, you know, and everybody gets to meet each other. And now we go back online and we're an even stronger community. Now we have stories. Now we have memories to share. Now we have laughs to share about, oh, remember when we were at that barbecue together and da 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 da. And now it's a whole thing in Twitch now. And like, so like I said, the Twitch community is like very, very, very different, because it's not just an online relationship. We know each other in real life now. You know what I mean? So like a lot of the people in Boss the Fuck Up, I've met in real life. So it's really hard to say that it's not family at this point. You know, it's different because you don't meet all the people that subscribe to your channel on YouTube.
Yeah. No,
But
it's true.
very different. It's like, oh, I could be maybe I'm holding a brunch next weekend, and I go on my channel for like a week and promote it. I'm gonna see a bunch of different people, not even just from my channel, but like lots of people who are in Twitch, different communities come out to that as well. And we get to meet in real life, and now I've formed new connections and new relationships from people who are already in Twitch from other communities, and it's an amazing networking opportunity, but it's also an amazing platform just for building relationships. And I'm not talking about dating.
No, I know.
Dating relationships out there, I'm 100% sure about that. But I mean, Twitch, like I said, Twitch is just very something special. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're in a place where you can call yourself, call it home. You know what I mean?
It is home. It is, because like for me and for a lot of other streamers, the one thing that we say, and I'm sure that you can attest to this being a streamer as well, is that it's a safe place. There's a lot of times where like I don't know what the fuck is going on in my life. I'm so fucking stressed. I have anxiety. I had a really bad fucking day, whatever the case is. And I go live and I don't know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen when you go live. And it's just like the people who show up and that are there and the conversations that happen and like all of that stuff, it's always exactly what you needed. So that's a big thing for me too, is it's part of my therapy. I can't even lie about that. And I know for a fact it's therapy for a lot of other people, but especially streamers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, I definitely appreciate you for sharing that. It definitely gives. Let me make sure I move a little bit so I don't actually hit my computer. Yeah, like it definitely sheds like a different light to the Twitch side of things. The opportunities for meetup, the opportunities for relationship building. Heck, even like just self help and self care. Like I feel like people are just more than just a viewer. You know what I mean? Like people come for a reason.
Yeah, on Twitch, they're 100% more than a viewer. I used to make it a point, like when I used to go into people's rooms, to say hi to everybody individually instead of grouping everybody's, because you can add this person, that person, you can add like 10 people together and say good morning like one time. But I tried to like, if I don't do it individually, at least try to say something about like, oh, how's your daughter doing? Or like, how was that thing that you did yesterday or whatever? Try to reiterate that I was listening to them at some point. You know what I mean? Or like that I know something about them from a conversation that we either just had in another Twitch room or like, you know what I mean? Like I try to make it a little bit personable, because behind the name is an actual person. It's a soul. It's somebody who showed up in that room. They typed something on their device to be a part of that chat for a reason.
Yeah.
If they didn't want to be seen, they wouldn't have put anything in the chat in the first place, because there's a lot of people who come in and they just lurk. They just sit in the background. They just want to listen. That's it. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's necessary to address people who are in the chat because they're there for a reason. So, yeah.
All right, let me give a quick shout out to one of the good homies that I personally know. So salutes to you, Braves, Hawks, Falcons fan. He says, "What's good, my folks? Knowledge in Relationships is the channel about that business." Hey, thank you so much, my brother, for like the kind words, man, and thank you for tuning in. So hopefully you are definitely like doing well, my brother. So much appreciated. Yeah, hold on a second. I know for me, right? Like a lot of times, like, I cringe on my own self, like when I'm not able, like, let's say like somebody's like, on our platform, but like, other people are hosting but I'm not able to, like, I'm able to look at the comments or to maybe listen, but sometimes I might not be able to text each other, like each person individually, like as much as I would like to.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, that happens.
Yeah.
That's just, like that's just me though.
Yeah. No, I hear it because, like, whenever, like, I see someone, like, I want to, like, acknowledge, like those people, like, hey, like, thank you for being here. You don't even have to come and take the time to support or even watch any videos or any live streams, but
Yeah.
you're here, and you're making a comment, you
That's
know.
why I think it's important in my room, like the whole like good morning thing that I do. I
Hmm.
think it's important to acknowledge every fucking person who comes in the room. I
Hmm.
do. And I like to give them their own personal attention. There's been times where I've missed people, but I've gotten pretty good at it over the past year.
Yeah.
But I think it just shows that to them that you see them, that they're being seen and they're being heard. When people come into something like Twitch, especially onto a Twitch platform, and they're in the chat, they want
Hmm.
to be seen and heard. So as a streamer, they're coming into your room and spending time in your room out of all the millions of other rooms that they could be in at that time. I like
Hmm.
to at least show my appreciation in that sense and acknowledge them just as a human being. That's it. I think
Hey,
it's
that's
because
what's up.
there are some streamers that have like a lot of people that come in their room, and it can go both ways. I've seen it both. Like for example, I'll big him up. Stretch, so Team Shellens. He usually has anywhere from like 100 to 300 people, depending on the day, right?
Hmm.
He makes sure he acknowledges everybody who comes in the room, bigs them up. But then I've seen streamers with like 300 to 500 people, and they can't acknowledge not one person because the chat is going like this. And the people are just like in the chat, and that's it. You don't even know what's going on. So
Yeah, and it's like
but it
it's
depends on how you feel about your community and how you appreciate them. They're gonna know. People are not dumb. We could feel energy through the screen. So
right, right. And shout outs to Karai Briggs. She says, like, that's true, Priscilla. So thank you for tuning
Prius
in into the
is
building.
and she's talking on the YouTube channel. So that's really cool that she went to your YouTube platform. She's also a Twitch streamer.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know Kawaii Bree, and like she also does like a lot of, like, gaming as well too.
Yeah,
And one of the games that, like, that she, well, actually we played like at least one game together, but I was still like on a noob type of level, so I couldn't really catch up to her ranking.
yeah.
But it was like Overwatch, and now Overwatch 2 is out.
Oh,
So I'm trying to get up in there, but the servers is kind of messed up right now.
I don't know nothing about gaming, so I can't help you there.
Nah,
I'll
nah, you good. And she also says, "Yeah, I was hyped to see you over here on the YouTube side, Priscilla."
It's so weird that like
Hmm.
people watching me on YouTube right now. I don't know. It's just because I'm so used to just being on
Like
Twitch.
on the yeah.
Because for me, like I said, I did YouTube. I have 10 episodes that are probably still saved there somewhere, but it
Hmm.
was different because you record the episodes, edit, and upload. So it's very different. Nobody's watching you. You make your video as perfect as you want it to be.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Twitch is a real fucking life. There's been times like ask my crew, they'll tell you. There's been times where like a bug has come out of nowhere. I start screaming in the middle of talking about something important. There's been times I made a dick appointment live. There's been times where I'm pouring my fucking heart out and we're all fucking crying together. And that's the kind of shit that you can't get from YouTube. Or maybe you can now, but not when I was doing it.
Honestly, you could get it from both platforms. I will think so, but it depends on the connections. Well, here's the thing, right? This is what I think about this, right? As long as you, as a streamer yourself, right? Because I don't really put on like YouTube or Twitch or try to make these comparisons. I think that if you have the heart for the people, no matter what platform you're on, hell, you might one day stream on Twitter if it
That's
allows
the
it,
thing.
right?
If you have a passion for anything,
Yeah,
people will feel it. I promise.
exactly. There's times that I'm not trying to toot our horn, but there's times where people, they come to our platforms and maybe they have something that's going on, and we just, like, talk to them, behind the scenes. We actually establish those type of connections. I mean,
Yeah.
not everything always have to be on the live streams,
Yeah.
but when it does, it's like, okay, what do you do as a streamer? Do you just boot them out and say, hey, look, you're disrupting the show and I'm trying to get things going? Some people will do that, you know,
Yeah.
but for us, it's like, hey,
In my chat, my
Mhm.
mods would just get rid of somebody who's being disrespectful. This is just not going to happen. That's why you have mods, to be able
Yeah.
to keep the chat clean or the way that you want it. So
Yeah.
your mods are important too. Big up all the boss the fuck up mods. There's too many to name, but I love you all.
Yeah. No, but see, I was talking about like if somebody was like, you know, they came like with a problem, right? And I seen this like in you know, like the larger platforms before where
actually talking about a problem.
yeah, like they talk about a problem, but then they get dismissed because everyone has that program they try to follow.
In my community, because I make sure that it's a judge-free zone. That's why we do the rules and stuff. So everybody, that's one thing that I pride myself on in my chat, is that people can feel free to come in and discuss their personal business. And the thing is that we've created that space together, though, because I wouldn't be able to open up the way that I do to my community if they didn't open up to me the way that they do with me in the chat. So we've had people explore their sexuality because of being in Boss the Fuck Up. We've had people work out issues with their significant other. They come in and they talk about, you know, shit that they're going through. And a lot of the conversations come from not being in my room, but exactly what you're talking about, where people who's in my room and they trust me will whisper me and tell me exactly what the fuck they're going through. Priscilla, I needed that stream. Priscilla, I didn't want to say anything. You're the only one who knows, but I'm going through da 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 da. And I just wanted to tell you, or I relate to exactly what you've been through. Da da da. And I get those private messages all the time. That's what I live for. And that's why I do what I do on a daily for a living, because I want to encourage people to be confident in the person that they're the skin that they're in now. So
see, Priscilla, that's why, like, you know, I wanted to invite you, and you was like you was on my mind for a minute, right? But at the time, like, there was no way for me to, you know, get connected to you for a while.
Yeah,
I always wanted you
I was on and off Twitch a little bit in the past little bit, like since you and I have known each other. It was a little bit funky for me because I came to this house and I revamped all of Boss the Fuck Up, like the whole structure. And it was good. It was better. And I'm happy with it. And I'm sure everybody else is too. But moving forward from that, life happened. So there was like a few times I had to take some breaks. I came off of Twitch for a little bit here and there. Like sometimes it was a few days, sometimes it was a week. I went on vacation, going on vacation again. Like it's different now that life is getting back to normal. And especially since I'm starting like a new business, things are different for me. But at the same time, I try to commit to the times that I have set. But at the end of the day, I can't remember what the point of my story was now. What was I talking about?
Well, we was talking about a lot of things, but it was more like, you know, like building those connections, you know, with the people from like the Twitch family.
Yes. And, having them come out and talk their stories and stuff, being there for them. That was my point. Yeah. I from the time that I've been on Twitch, that's been the one thing that's been consistent. I'll either get IG messages or message like whispers on Twitch, and they tell me about situations that either was the topic or that they heard me speaking on, or that they just want to tell me is going on in their life. That's really fucking cool. And I love that Boss the Fuck Up chat is like that, where people come in and they can talk about whatever they want to. And their opinion matters. And just because their opinion is different from somebody else's doesn't mean that they're right or wrong. It just means that their opinion also matters. So I love that we've created that space. And there's so many streamers like Critically Drinking and QueBee that are in the chat today that have created those spaces as well in their rooms with their community. So that's why I love Twitch. Twitch is very, very, very different. So, and it all comes down to how you are with other people in Twitch, like the relationships that you form and how you show support. And it also comes down to you as a streamer and what you're able to provide your community, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
It's a big thing.
And that's why I love doing this, like these type of live shows. You know, I love entertaining. I love just being there to offer solutions. Hell, I love to learn from the people who are watching us, the people that comment.
For
Because
sure.
the thing is, this is like the best thing that's ever happened to my life personally. I look forward to going home. Like this makes sense. If you tell that to somebody else that doesn't understand the streaming life, and you tell them like, "Hey, I look forward to just staying home all night," you know, they're gonna be looking like they might think you might don't even have a life.
They don't get
But yeah, but this is our lives. You know, I love talking to all these people, right? You know, like critically drinking, quiet Bree. You know the Braves Hawks. You might want to short that name though, but yeah, you know.
You'll have a time that you're supposed to go live. So I like people know I'm supposed to go live at like 8:00. And if I don't, now they know me. But like before, they used to be like, "Yo, it's 8:00. Where are you? Are you going live or what? Did something happen?" And it's like, if you're not, like, because that's what I'm saying is like your community knows you, and like there's people who are waiting for you to go live because like whatever. So that's a cool thing too. And I feel you is like a lot of people who are not streamers don't understand that like. Yeah, I might be home by myself right now or whatever with the dogs, but I'm not. I'm here with you and whoever else is watching on YouTube and on Twitch. You know what I mean? And then when this is done, I'm going to end up in another. I know where I'm going to be. I have to mod. So I'm going to be there. But at the end of the day, we can end up in another community and like carry that on or whatever the case is. So yeah, it's pretty fucking dope. Really dope. I think that's the one thing is like a lot of people don't understand about streamers is we put a lot into our streams, like into the studio itself, the equipment, the content, the time. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be updated and upgraded and switched in Twitch a lot. Like on our ends as streamers, we know like through our dashboard, emotes, like all of these things, whatever. And I think a lot of people just don't understand what goes into it, but it's a lot of passion that goes into it. You know what I mean? So that's why it doesn't matter for me. Like, I'll go into QueBee's room or I'll go into Critically Drinking's room, and they might only have like 2 people or 3 people. For me, it's not about the number; it's about the content and what that person is providing at the end of the day. And I enjoy. I'm a person who like I'll go into rooms that might have like 300 people, but that's because I'm listening to music. But when it comes to conversations, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy the smaller crowds because it's more intimate.
All right.
Personable. I'd rather go into a room that has like 2 people where the streamer has time to focus on, you know, the conversations that are being had and build relationships than go into don't get me wrong, like there's times where I've had a ton of people in my room and like the chat is flying. But at the same time, I like it when it's like a little bit more calm. Just I like the more intimate setting, I guess.
I get you like more like kind of like the social connection.
Yeah.
Because likewise, going back, the more people that are in the chat, the harder it is to really have an intimate connection with. Well, not connection, but just having an intimate conversation with them for the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why like it's important for me, like you know, for me, like whenever somebody like comments or whatever, I try to highlight as much as I can.
You're very good at that and like shout them out and like all of that stuff.
Yeah, because like I said, like you know, like y'all all like you know family, so I want to make sure that you guys and ladies as well too, right?
Yeah.
You know, always know that you're reminded and you're loved. Hold on for a second. Cricket Drinker says, "I don't like being able to keep up with the chat."
It's true. My chat gets
remember
I think you were in there when I was doing After Dark, and like I just couldn't read all of the comments, and I had to end up to the bottom. Like she's missing my stuff, and I'm sorry.
I understand. Like I mean, like your room was flooded with a whole bunch of people, so I get it. I understand. And when it's just going like bloop 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 bloop, you know, it's
After Dark tends to do that.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Where Rashawn is coming from, or Critically Drinking, is because I don't like it when I can't keep up with it either. It's like I don't know what's going on. I could have missed something really, really fucking important. But yeah, I'm like that too.
Let me ask you this question. Now, when you received our invitation to join our panel as a special guest, you know, to get I don't even say interview, the live talk. What
Mm-hmm.
was like your first thought in mind about us and why you decided to give knowledge relationships a chance?
I actually remember that. I was upset being on that panel that day. So I don't know who it was. There was a lot of, I believe there was like 8 people, and there was only one lady, if there was a lady on there. And the dude who was talking, it hit. This is why I remember. I love the conversation because I already watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube, and I'm all for panel discussions. Doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I came across your channel, it was you guys were actually on my recommended channel, so I clicked on it,
Oh, really?
and yeah, that's how I found you. And the conversation was at that time circling around. Um, it wasn't abusive relationships. It was how girls get out of hand sometimes and start hitting men and think that it's okay. But then the dude who was talking was like, well, he's okay with it being the other way around. And so when I heard him condoning hitting
Mm-hmm.
a woman, and I know that you had stepped in after, he was just talking about like a specific scenario. But either way, for me, all I heard was, I'm not down with that shit. So
Yeah.
when I came up on the panel, I was a little bit quiet. I was listening. But then when that dude started talking, I think I left. I was just like, you know what? I can't. Because I'm going to say, so this is not my community. This is not my family. And I'm going to start speaking the way that Six speaks. And probably people won't like it. So let me just leave.
No, you're more welcome to like always express your opinions, even if it comes off.
Because like I said, it wasn't even like you were part of a community, or I never even seen your name around Twitch or whatever, right? So it's like
Yeah.
totally new territory. So I didn't want to, like fuck that up. But then I came back. I'm not gonna lie, that night I went to my boyfriend and I complained to him, and I'm like, these motherfuckers was talking about this shit and gave me anxiety, and I had to come off the fucking panel of the stream or whatever. I didn't like it. And then you came back on, I think like the next day or 2 days later, and I saw the title. I can't remember what it was, but it was interesting, and I was like, all right, let me just see what's going on here again. So I came, and the panel was actually a discussion more. I think there was 3 women, and whatever the topic was, it was very like it kept me engaged, and I was like, okay, now I get an understanding of who they are, because it wasn't just like a one-way thing where you have like the same people on all the time talk about like the same topic. It's very different every single time, and you have a lot of different conversations and a lot of different opinionated people come on your panel, and that's what I love.
Thank you.
Carlisha! Hi, Carlisha.
Real quick, let me go ahead and give the shout outs. Thank you, Wise Bot. So, shout outs to QueBee Hustle. Thank you for following Knowledge Relationships here on the Twitch gang side. Okay, and then we have
stand up for him because he doesn't do the gaming anymore. So he actually had Shellen's Gaming attached to his name, but he took it off for that purpose because he's not doing the gaming anymore. He'll do it once in a while, but right now he's focusing on streaming, DJing music, and we do versus battles. We do poetry night. We do lots of watching series and TV shows and movies and stuff like that. But just so you know, he's not doing the gaming thing no more.
Okay, I respect that.
I was mod, so that's why I stepped in like that. I have to go mod for him just now.
Yeah. I mean, look, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, if you have, a different type of lane for the moment.
Because you said that you wanted to go and game with him, so I was like, oh, he's not doing that no more though.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, look, I haven't really been. Well, I'll tell you that in a minute, right? But I gotta give a shout outs to the homie, Knowledge Relations own from Easily Rigged. Big Rig Slaps in the building. It says, shout outs to the panel and the people, man, in the chat. Big Rigs in the building. I was going to say in the motherfucking building because that's what he usually say, right? But yeah, but salute to you. And Carly, like, I didn't forget about you, but Carly had story. That's how you pronounce it?
Carlisha.
Oh, Carlisha. Yeah. Oh, true. Okay. I thought it was like, okay. Never mind.
I was confused for a long time too. This girl come in my room from time, and I'm like, all right, let's just figure this out. Is it Carlisha the story, or is it Carly Shad's story? No, tell me. So then she told me. She said Carlisha is fine, so that's what I call her.
Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in, Carlisha. So appreciate that. And she also followed too. So thank you very much. And Kobe Hustle, definitely bless up back to you as well. So thank you for tuning in. Everyone in the chat on the Twitch side, um, if you guys have, and ladies too, if you guys have a YouTube channel, okay, please tune in on YouTube just to subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships here because we are very, very close. I think we're 17 subscribers away from getting monetized or getting our first 1K. So please, like, if you do have, a YouTube channel, um, please log in, subscribe to like Knowledge Relationships on YouTube because we're trying to reach that goal and we're very, very close. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning in onto the Twitch side. So that is much appreciated that you guys follow. And then she said, "Story with an I. For a story, only I can tell." I like the creativity, Carlisha. I like that. So keep it up, everybody, with the creativity. So.
Complicated.
Yeah. Oh, there was something else I was going to say too. So let me make sure. All right. Where is it? But that's good to know, right? Because it's funny, like, cause like sometimes, and it be like that. People come for the first time, and they get like a little snippet. Like your first impression is everything.
Yeah.
So just to keep in mind, right? The viewpoints, right, that sometimes we share are not the same viewpoints when we bring the guests up. But people don't know that when you come onto a panel, you just hear like maybe one guy or two that's talking a bunch of gibberish, and unfortunately, we do have men, right? And she says, "Let me go and subscribe to YouTube."
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Salutes to you, Carlisha, for doing that. But you have like people on the YouTube side. Sorry, you have people that comes from like the manosphere type of spaces or the feministic type of spaces, whatever space they come from. Her people, they come and they spew out a lot of things. Okay,
yeah.
And we had at one point we had to destroy to rebuild. Which means that some people may not like the season 2 style of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure that we keep up to our core values and allow the space to be open for people to feel safe in.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to have an opinion about something. And I'll let you guys talk, like whether if I agree or not. I'm not here to judge. But then the moment you start disrespecting people in the process of it, I gotta give you the boot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's nothing personal, but that's not the type of direction that we're trying to go towards.
Yeah.
So keep in mind. Yeah. Keep in mind, this is not like a manosphere channel. This is not a feministic type of channel. This is a channel that just, racks, talk shit, say how it is or whatever, because some people have a lot to say, but they don't feel comfortable in saying it. Yeah. So I'll do you a favor in saying it for you. You know what I mean? So
I would say your panel is real cool because your panel is never the same. So you're getting a lot of different opinions on a lot of different subjects. And that's why I do boss the fuck up, because perspective matters. And it's like the way that I think of one thing, I could do a show on it today and leave with a totally different perspective on what I thought I knew about that. So, and that's what your platform allows too. And I love that it's very diverse and the conversations are just as diverse too. So that's why I encourage people to add your channel and Critically Drinking and QueBee, everybody, because it matters. Being able to have different content and different that come from people of different walks of life. The journey that I faced is not the journey that you faced. So obviously your perspectives are going to be totally different from mine, but our values at core, tend to align. I like when that happens.
Yeah. And that's where I feel like that's where connections begin, Real quick, thank you, QueBee Hustle, for subscribing to Knowledge Relationships on the YouTube side. And again, Carlisha, thank you for doing that as well too. And then Carlisha told QueBee Hustle, "I push you down to give you a loving kiss." Oh, you know. Wait, I don't have no all sound effects, huh? Oh, that's my bad on that one.
That one. He has this really cute one, but he only does it for like one person who comes in his room. It's a kiss.
Mhm.
But yeah, we don't hear it often. I didn't know where the girl gone.
Yeah,
You should get a kiss.
I know. I work on it, you know. Sometimes, like, you know, it be a hassle trying to like download certain like sound effects, like.
I don't even let me not even get into that because the person that I mod for is in this room, aka
Mhm.
Coach Hustle. And I've been
Mhm.
asking him to help me get all of these sound effect things and gifts on my screen for a long, 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 long time. He still didn't do it. I just wanted to give him shit and he knows that. So
Oh man, okay.
he needs to boss the fuck up.
Hey, you heard that, Kobe? She said he got bossed the fuck up, man. She's saying like you slipping. You're not giving her the work.
He's working me to the bone every night, modding until 5 o'clock in the morning, and I get nothing in return.
Oh man.
He said, I just want to give him some shit. Yeah, that's the one.
Much love though to you, my brother. Yeah. Oh man. So okay. Speaking of diversity, okay.
Mhm.
So like here, like we're trying to make sure that you know we come up with anything, right? So like in our content. And one of the best things that it's like a kind of like a love and hate type of relationship because like when it comes to ladies night, I'm like, you know, I have mixed feelings at first, but I started to see like the women like you know growing together as a unit and the things that they're putting like their hearts into is just like so powerful. Like I want to make sure that you know that anyone who likes to like you know come in like as a guest, and our ladies night it's like every other like you know Saturdays. I think this Saturday will be ladies night.
I think,
And
yeah, not.
mhm.
I watched one on a Saturday. It was with three ladies. I came in
Okay,
Saturday, I wanted to say.
you mean you came out on the panel?
No, 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 no. I
Oh,
came into like your room and I seen the ladies talking. I said, "What's up?" But they were talking about their businesses, I believe.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah, like the week
That
before
like
that.
a entrepreneurs night or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Like it was, I think start because they have like so many different subtopics in between.
Oh,
That I
okay.
sometimes like forget, but
Yeah. But that's what I
um,
was talking about when you're talking about diversity. It was really
yeah,
cool to see just a panel of women because as opposed to like the first time I came on your show, it was just a panel of men. And there was a lot of them, like eight.
right, right,
Sometimes you have a mix.
yeah. Like according to like YouTube stats, YouTube will say the majority of people who watches us are men, but then the majority of people who heavily support us behind the scenes are the women. You know, which shows that women are like you know the backbone as well to like our network. I mean anybody pretty
Twitch is
much.
because Twitch is predominantly women based. And anybody's you go in, yes. In anybody's room that you go in, you will see mostly women. Women are the ones who mostly support in Twitch too. When it comes like monetary wise,
Yeah,
giving bits and subs mostly come from women. 100%.
I did not know that. I
Yeah.
was thinking like this would be
No
like
matter
more of like a guy's thing because well if you don't know my perspective like my perception on Twitch at that time I was just thinking Twitch was all just about like just gaming
yeah.
and nothing else. And I started like you know like when I first started doing live streams from way back like just personally. Um, that was like the first thing that I was like mostly doing like with Twitch. And funny story was that my whole theme was because at the time I didn't have like good camera equipment.
Yeah.
So I had like a really like it was like a
Girl,
one
I
point,
used my phone to stream for a whole year. Nothing. I had no nothing.
but I had like a busted web camera, okay, that only like streamed like I think it was 1 point something like that, right? The quality was horrible, right? And I called it bootleg streaming, and so I'll take like some tape or whatever or some rubber bands. I put a stack on books or whatever. Then I had the Nintendo 3DS, so I'll hold it like this.
Listen, I did the same thing with my phone. I had stack of books, or I had whatever I could lean it up against.
Yeah.
Ask if there's anybody who's OGs from in here. They know how many times my phone fell when I was trying to stream.
The same thing, right? But look, this is the irony part. What I'm going to tell you. So I was doing all this stuff, and people was donating like little by little.
Yeah.
I was doing this stuff right because I want to get a capture card. I couldn't afford to get a capture card at the time.
Okay.
And if I got the capture card, then I could display high quality content or like from my TV screen. So I had all this support, right? Like it was like 15 or 20 people watching the bootleg version of me playing video games. I kid you not. The moment I got the capture card, I got everything set up, and you have all this delicious quality that like at your fingertips for your eyes to see, people start unfollowing. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. When I used for my phone, maybe it's just me, but I feel like there were more people around then. But like I feel like when I came here to this house in March and I revamped Boss the Fuck Up, like yeah, my regulars came in, but I just feel like it was just different because it wasn't like me just going live and sitting outside and like whatever the fuck happens. Like hearing the motorcycles go by and the dogs barking, like all of this shit, like random shit just happening. And then I like set everything up properly, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to finally got everything ready to go. And it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't seem the same. I feel you.
I feel like
authentic you are, and like the more cheesy and like raw it is, the more people like it.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that because that person left a comment. Was like, man, I like you better. Like when you was doing that bootleg stuff, and now this is boring. Like I miss like the bootleg quality or whatever of the live stream. And I'm like, damn, like, I purchased all this equipment and people just wasn't happy with me because I was just trying to provide quality for them.
Yeah.
But what I learned is that, you know what?
That's why when you said that, I was like, I remember those days though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe when I go away this weekend, I'll stream from my phone because I miss it so much. Like just being able to like go live and just like be in the moment. I used to shut off my Twitch. I used to fuck up my Twitch all the time because I stream from my phone. The only chat I had was on the phone. So like if I missed something, I'd be scrolling, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I'd press end live and I'd fuck it up, and they'd be like, "Oh, where'd she go?"
Yeah,
some good shit. But yeah, I'll never forget those days at all. Because the thing was, is that it wasn't even my fault. I had an Alienware computer. I had a Blue Yeti mic. I had all of this. I had all of the things, everything.
Yep, got the same thing.
And I couldn't use it because the house that I lived on 2.2 acres, so I was in the middle of nowhere, and there was only one internet service that I could get. Everybody remembers, and it was 25 down and 5 up. Or 25 up and 5 down, whatever. It was really
download upload speed. You need to have a good upload speed if you want to stream.
I couldn't even use StreamYards. That's how shitty it was. StreamYards wouldn't even push through. So I couldn't. The only thing I could do, and I was using the mobile data on my phone. Every time. Yeah.
It's like when your connection is so shitty, streamers like, fuck you,
It wasn't because I could afford good internet. It was just because where I lived only gave you one internet service, and that was it. So you could not be a streamer and live there. There's no way. So it was the phone or nothing. So yeah, that brings me back to like a lot of fucking memories just fucking up. Yeah. I
love you like your laugh, Priscilla. I know I said that.
How did me laugh? Was it you that said that the other day? You're like, you have
Yeah.
a Disney laugh. Disney.
Yeah,
joke.
that was me. I was like, damn, like you have like a Disney type of laughter, right? It's like one of those like type of laughs, right? That it's like it's fun, cute, and it could also be sinister at the same time, right? It just all combined into one. Imagine like you fucking up someone's like entire life, right? And you fuck up the credit, you fuck up like their girlfriends, children, whatever, right? And then your final, it's not even your final words, your final actions. It's like that laugh that you give, right? Because like when you laugh, you just sit back, right? You laugh with your chest out, and it's like I can't even do it because I'm not you.
That being me too. Like fuck up their whole life and then do the laugh.
Right. Like something like that. It's like that Ursula type laugh. I don't know, but life
that's the one thing that everybody always says, but like I don't hate it. It's just I hear it so I hate the word cute, but that's what everybody says. They're always like, your laugh is so cute. Whatever.
Well, sorry, I'm like
that's just how I am though. I can't even, it's my voice and the way that I sound and yeah, all of that stuff. It's been like that from time.
So I'm assuming you could sing too, right?
No, ask QueBee. QueBee fucking. I was just saying on my stream, QueBee fucking hates my singing. He hates it every time I sing. It's almost like he's just like disgusted. Some people like it, but no, I can't sing at all. I sing, but I can't sing.
But you could carry a tune.
I just do it just because. I don't care if I sound horrible. So, see, look at him. Please don't sing. He's a jerk. That's what he is.
Well, at least I like your laugh then. You know what I mean? That's all.
We love Scylla. Oh my god, nobody's called me that in so long. One girl used to call me that. But yeah, Disney laugh, eh?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you do some voiceovers, I'm telling you, like you will definitely rip it. Carlisha, thank you for tuning in on the YouTube side, by the way.
That's a fun fact. I was gonna do voiceovers and shit. So I went to I had applied for this thing for radio, and they wanted to hire me. I just wasn't into it at that. I didn't know that I would be so good at it. I didn't know. Had I known that I was gonna have this kind of personality, or like I'd be dope as fuck like this, like talking and talk to things and like who I am, all this thing I'm doing now. If I knew that then, I would have 100% pursued a career in radio or like voice.
Good shit, it's never too late.
Nah, people say that all the time too. They're like, yo, you could still do it. And I'm just like, I don't know. I want to do what Angie Martinez is doing, do my own podcast and have people on the show. I'm doing that. It's called Boss the Fuck Up in After Dark.
That's what's up. Be independent,
I love what I do on Twitch. I don't want to change it. Like I just
because they'll put you on that contract real quick when it comes to sponsorships. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
the thing.
okay.
That's the thing. It's like once. Let's be real. When somebody's sponsoring you, you have investors. Your show is not your show, and your content is not your own. Fuck that shit. Yeah, I can never go against what I believe. Like even simple thing just happened the other day. One of my boys was DJing. And he said something about, yo, if you don't believe in God, you have to leave the chat now. And I was like, yeah, eh? And I had something to say because in my head, I'm like, I don't believe in God. I believe in energy in the universe. Like whatever you want to call it, I believe that there's energy and I believe in the universe. I don't believe in the whole Bible and Jesus Christ and this and that. Don't get me wrong. I was brought up in a Christian household, so nobody can call me shit. But at the end of the day, I made my own decision on what I believe. But when he said that, and I know me and him are friends, I had something to say right away. And I'm like, well, I don't call it God and I'm not leaving the room. So
yeah.
But here's the thing is like, even though I love people the way I do, and I love them, they're like my brother. At the end of the day, for me, shit like that. And you had asked me before I came on the show, you're like, yo, is there anything that you're like touchy about? And I said, the only thing I don't fuck with is religion. Right. And that's one of the reasons is because you can't just assume that just because somebody doesn't believe in God, that they're bad mind or that they don't have a good heart. You know what I mean? Or what they believe isn't right either. And so at the end of the day, even if it's somebody that I love or somebody that I'm close with, especially those people, I'm gonna still put you in, not necessarily put you in your place. I'm just gonna voice my opinion because my opinion matters too. You know what I mean? You're not gonna tell me that everybody should believe in God or else that's not how shit works, especially not nowadays. You know what I mean? And then here's the thing is everybody's entitled to their own opinion as a streamer as to how they would like to run their chat. Cause I definitely do that with Boss the Fuck Up. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when it comes to people's beliefs and opinions, I try to make the space as open as possible because I know that that matters. So when it comes to me, like saying shit, I'll always have something that I could never. Oh no! Yeah, I can never just shut my mouth and be quiet. It's not gonna happen.
No, and you shouldn't. You know.
Yeah.
But you know what I do notice. You guys get a lot of freedom on the Twitch side as opposed to YouTube. And the reason why,
Like freedom how?
like like more freedom to like kind of like like express like let's just say the little stuff, right? You guys could like play reactions. You guys could like play music or whatever. YouTube is very more kind of like hey no, and then there's certain things that let's just say certain things that you're talking about.
Written all over the place on YouTube.
Like, say again.
You could get copy written all over the place on YouTube.
Well, now people are banning you, and you could have like yeah.
But it's yeah, you're right. It's not like that on Twitch. Like yes, you can get copyright strikes, and even with that, there's 3 strikes that you gotta get. And then the second part to that is like even me, like in the background, I don't have any of like QueBee, for example, has some programs that he uses Tidal and like whatever to be able to play music, right? So that they don't get that. I don't have any of that, but I do it anyway. But I'm not gonna get a strike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll mute out certain parts of my video for having that, but I never got in trouble.
So, right. Gregory James says I lost a 6-hour stream on YouTube because of 3 minutes of copyright material.
See, that's so Twitch is a little bit more relaxed when it comes to copyright stuff, but I know that they've changed some of their policies and stuff. Either way, it's still better than YouTube. Yeah, he's been to copyright jail twice on Twitch.
Yeah, and Shakisha, I'm sorry, Carlisha says, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, and it does. It's like, and that's why, that's the only reason why, like, sometimes, like, it makes us feel like, well, we're kind of like walking a little bit on eggshells with YouTube because whenever you're trying to talk about something to use like your freedom of speech, you realize you don't really have any freedom when it comes to your speech, when it comes to doing this on other platforms.
You know, and you having said that, that's right. Because as much as I talk the things, or as much as I feel like I can express myself on Boss the Fuck Up and After Dark, I don't. Trust me, I don't. I would say like I don't even know how to word it because I don't want to put it in like a speak the truth form. It's just me being my true self and saying what I want to say. I would say is really, if I'm being honest, only about 20% on every stream because there's a lot of things that I can't talk about, and that's just how it is. It's like if I was to be real and like really talk the things, I wouldn't be able to have the channel. For sure.
No, I hear you.
Feel as I can, but at the end of the day, the show isn't allowing me to like be myself fully. That's not right now. That's not what it's for. I do feel like I can be myself, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that I can't talk about, and I just have to leave it as that. There's conversations that I could have with you and with all these people who are in the chat off camera. That's the real shit.
Okay.
But that's just me. That's just me. You still, like I said, with Twitch, you still have more of an open platform, and it's still a hell of a lot more freedom of speech, and like to do what you want. Like I seen there was a dude who made a comment on your YouTube that said that a lot of people and girls especially can make money on Twitch because all they have to do is like show their body and do this and that and like whatever, which is true. There's a lot of women that have Twitch channels for that exact reason. Yeah, that's why they say Twitch is going to make women rich, because simps are paying chicks because they're in bra and lingerie type clothes playing games. And he's not lying.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and it makes sense because, like you said, like, you know, Twitch have a lot more women on that platform as opposed to YouTube. So, but and it kind of ties into like Marcus's comment on that. So, because it depends, you know, you could have like, you know, you could be playing like something and you might not even be good at it, but as long as like you're dressing the part or you're undressing for the part, then you know people are going to be like, you know, donating, showing you support and all that.
There was a girl, her name is Amaranth, I want to say. It's along the lines of that. And I don't know if her channel still exists, but she basically like she would have her breasts out and shit. She's like wearing like a whatever bra. But she would basically do this ASMR thing, which is apparently really popular, and she would lick the mic. And she made you should see how many people it is her name and she still exists. Yeah. If you just ever pull her up, Rashawn, send him the girl name so he could just pop in there and see. Her chat's always flying, and it's always flying with fucking like subs and bits. Though. And all she does is she has a mic, and she licks it.
Let me see. Arshawn, can you send me like a clip of her doing that? I can also show that on the screen too, though, so that people could know like who she looked like.
But it was a talk in Twitch. It was like, yo, she's not selling her body. She's literally she's wearing shit that like she could wear to the club, real shit. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, all she's doing is licking a mic. She being a little bit provocative, for sure. But I could be that way in the way that I speak or conduct any one of my shows. You know what I mean? And like, I'm not giving her props and I'm not knocking her down. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, what was she really doing that was so wrong? If that's what people like want to gravitate to, then gravitate to that. Just because Priscilla and the Six is over here sitting like talking real shit and like whatever, it doesn't mean that that's where all the attention is going to be focused just because it's real. People like shit like that. You know what I mean? Like for that, Twitch is an entertainment platform. What she's doing is providing entertainment for people who want to pay for it. So in a way, I kind of big her up a little bit because I mean she's doing her fucking thing. But there's always going to be people who are going to have an opinion and hate on her for what she's doing. Oh, women get to use their bodies and make money so easily, blah, blah, blah. You have a body and you could do whatever the fuck you want with it too. She chose to put it on Twitch and make 500K every fucking month. You didn't. That's the way I see it. I'm not bigging her up. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, you know, you do whatever that fits best. I was thinking about wearing some provocative clothing and see if my numbers will go up. Okay, that's but you may have to wax. Oh shit,
Bells is killing me.
Yeah, funny man, this chat.
I really hate to do this because on a normal night I would just stay, but I'm gonna stay till 11. The only reason is because I have a very early flight on Friday morning, like 4:00 in the morning. So tomorrow is my like.
I definitely understand. And look,
and I wish that we would have had more time. Honestly, I would love to come back and do this again because I know there's probably a ton of questions that you didn't get to ask. But I appreciate you having me on the show.
No problem. You know what? Let me see.
How about we do one more question? If you have one more question for me, we do that.
You know what? All right. Let me end off with one last question then. Okay. So let me see. Go with something random. Okay. What is the one or several things you would like to? You know what? Hold on for a second. Let me do this real quick. I don't want to hold too much of your time.
No. I'm not.
Okay, for sure. All right, I'm gonna ask this last question. Okay.
All right.
All right. Let me go ahead and I'm going to turn this down. All right. So when it comes to sex, what do you like the most about it?
The way it feels.
And what, in your eyes, is the most attractive feature in a man?
His eyes.
His eyes?
Yeah.
Really? His eyes? Not his dick?
Oh, you mean like during sex?
Well, no, I was just saying. Well, I thought it
Like,
was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like the size of it, but
a very complicated question because if we're talking about what's my favorite feature on a man and we're talking
Mhm.
about being in the bedroom, of course it's his dick.
Okay,
But
okay,
there is something about a man's eyes too, because that's where a lot of the turn on comes from.
okay. In the man's eyes, all
They
right.
look at me, yeah.
So, what are you into? Like men who have like light eyes, or
No,
maybe?
it's just the way that a
Oh,
man looks at me. It's the look. There's a look. My man has this way of just looking at me and gets me every fucking time. I told you I wanted to leave his ass, and all he had to do was just look at me once, and I was like, okay, fine.
all right, all right. This is gonna go by quick, right? All right. What is your biggest turnoff in a man?
My biggest turn off,
Yeah, like during like any you
hurting a
know
woman intentionally with his words. Biggest turn off. Because
okay.
just I've experienced that a lot, especially in relationships. Hurting a woman intentionally with his words. Hate that shit. Because sometimes it could be a little bit undercover. Sometimes it could be
Mhm.
in a narcissistic way. Sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, I was just joking." No, you know the fuck you weren't. I hate when men intentionally hurt women with their words, aka me. I don't like that shit.
I get you
You know,
though.
you know what the fuck you were saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It wasn't like, oops, it was just an accident. No, no, I get you.
Oh,
But
thank
okay, but let me rephrase this. Like now, in a sexual activity, right? What is the biggest turnoff during it?
Say it again.
So, like in a sexual activity, right? Pretty
Yeah.
much during sex, right? What is the biggest turnoff in the moment?
The biggest turn off.
Yeah, like you're in the moment, right? But something turns you off while you're in the moment. What will be the biggest turnoff during that
Him not
activity?
knowing what he's doing, like him not knowing his way around a woman's body, so not
Okay,
being
okay.
experienced enough. The biggest turnoff for me, if I'm being real, is a small dick. So like that's why I was saying like if we're in the moment, I already
Mhm.
know he doesn't have a small dick.
Yeah.
If he does, we're not even getting to that point.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't know what he's doing, that's a turnoff. No girl wants that. No girl wants to tell a man how to touch her.
So he hasn't already come experience. So look, anyone who's a virgin,
At this
so
day and age, yeah, you gotta come with experience. Well, 17 years old no more, and we're still fucking learning, even 25 years old. We're talking about well into our 40s now. You better have some fucking experience or don't try to come fuck with me. I don't play that game. No.
okay, okay. And then actually, you know what? I'll end off on that note, right? I'm looking at the time right now, but yeah.
What?
Again.
It's all good.
But I had to hit you that because I know, like, most of the times, like, you do talk about like, like sex a lot as well too. So, you
Because I
know,
think it's important. And like,
mhm.
yes, we have a show called After Dark, and the thing is that people are not comfortable talking about sex
Yeah.
openly and publicly. And I tried to do it in a way that was fun and that was enticing for people to like sit and listen. But at the end of the day, we do have a lot of like real conversations. And I'm thankful for that because we could be talking about giving head, right?
Hmm.
And the whole conversation is fun from beginning to end. But there's moments and patches where there's like some real talk about some real shit. And like that's what I strive for. Like, yeah, the fun is there to help people feel easy about it and be able to joke and like whatever, you know what I mean? I love those shows, but like for me, one of the top 3 things in a relationship is sex. And if it's not great, then I don't want it. It's not even about I don't want it. Like it has to be, because I think that sex is just as important as communication and trust. So and without great sex, that's not a relationship that I want to be in, because the way that I see shit is if I'm not having sex with you and you're my partner, then you're just a friend. We all choose, like the way that the world sees it is that we all choose a partner because that's the person we want to fuck for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to fuck anybody else once you're with somebody, right? That's the rule.
I mean, y'all created rules. I mean, you know.
I'm just saying. So like, so if I'm only gonna be with one person and locked down to one person for the rest of my life, or that's how it's supposed to be, you know what I mean? We're not having open relationships here. Then isn't the sex supposed to be bomb as fuck?
Yeah, it should be. Because I mean, if you spend the rest of life, yeah,
fuck around with that. If it's not bomb as fuck, you're not the one for me. That's how I feel. Because it's not just the sex. It's got to be, there's a few check marks that have to align. And for me, I don't think that the universe is going to make me feel this way if that type of man is not out there. You know what I mean? And that's for everybody in a relationship. It's not just one thing. There's things that make up some criteria where you're like, I need that in a relationship. So for me, great sex, bomb as fuck sex on a regular is a need. 100%. Can't get no shitty sex.
All right, you heard that, fellas. You know, step your game up on that note.
Step your game up.
Yeah. All right. Well, Priscilla, like, hey, I just want to say thank you for.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah.
I feel like this is really the 4th time I've been on your show or something.
You have been. You actually have been on like a couple of times. I think like when you kind of start. I think like from last month you came like a little bit more regularly. I'm like, oh, okay, like
yeah, cool. A couple times for sure.
Yeah, and I've always, and at that moment, I don't know what was going on my Twitch, but like usually sometimes Twitch don't really show me the notifications, but that one time when I finally caught you on a live stream on a good day, I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And from that point on, like Twitch started giving me the notifications again.
The time difference between the two of us, we don't always. So like when you go live, a lot of times I don't come into your room because I'm already modding by that time, and it's already like well into like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes here for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I'm able to catch you on the weekends more so, because it's later for me. Yeah. But I don't know. Well, that's how it be sometimes. That's some of my favorite streamers are different time zones, so it's just very hard. But like, I feel like I try to catch everybody that as soon as I see a notification and I'm like, yo, I haven't checked them in a minute, I try to click on and go in their room. So
no, it's all good. Oh, the one last question I was going to ask, right? And we'll end from here. If you ever want to be a guest like on our ladies night live stream, because like I said, we're trying to be diverse. Yeah. 100%. So all right, cool.
I'm very social. Anybody who's willing to let me talk, I will. So I'll definitely be back.
Okay. Well, look, yeah. Well, look, I know you have to go out, get ready to go out of town. So, probably like in the next, not this week or whatever, probably like the week after, I'll just make sure, I keep you in mind.
Yeah, here in Canada, so it's a long weekend for us. So up until Monday. Monday is our Thanksgiving. So we have a short work week next week. But yeah, anytime. Just hit me up.
Okay, for sure.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
No, you're good.
Thank you to everybody who came in from Boss the Fuck Up. Before I go, Carlisha, QueBee, Critically Drinking, Odell, Cocolicious. Who else? Anybody I missed? Rose Megs, Nisha. Thank you everybody for coming in. Appreciate everybody so much.
Truth. Yeah.
I love you guys.
All right.
Take
So
care.
okay.
Oh, wait. Were you gonna say so? I don't want you to feel like I'm rushing you.
No. What I was going to just say is like, just make sure you shout out like your Twitch channel for once who just probably came in or probably don't know who are you.
Sure.
Yeah.
I never big myself up anywhere. I should probably start doing that. If you guys want to join my conversation, my name is 6IIXBOSS, spelled just like that. So at 6IIXBOSS. That's my channel. And on Mondays at 11 a.m., we have a real talk show. And then on Wednesday nights, we have Double Trouble. We haven't had Double Trouble in a while, so I'm not really going to lie. It's usually with my girl Tiana, but lately, I don't know what's happening. But we try to stream at 8 on Wednesdays. And on Thursdays, except for tomorrow, I just realized, except for tomorrow, at 10 o'clock, we do After Dark. I'll be preparing for my trip, so I'm probably not going to be doing After Dark tomorrow. But usually Thursdays is our sexy show. I might do a pop-up this weekend and do sexy show, so you guys look out for that. I won't be in Kansas City anymore. That's for sure, guys. So look out for that.
All right, for sure.
Thank you again. Appreciate you very much.
All right, no problem. All right, so then. All right, good night, Priscilla. Thank you again. And everyone, we are going to be tuning out. Make sure, once again, people, like on the Twitch side, if you have a YouTube channel, please help us to get to 1,000 subscribers. Please feel free to subscribe. Other than that, the follows is also appreciated. So let me go ahead and hurry up and cue in the outro. And thank you, everybody. Again, salute.
Bye.
Oops. Sorry, wrong song bit. Hey. Peace out, everybody. All right.
Knowledge and relationships.